The following may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Teacher erases wife, then takes his life after wife files for divorce. 7 months before schoolteacher Ramdial-Deobarran erased his wife, Omatie Ramdial-Deobarran, and then took himself out, he confessed to her that he had a child with another woman with whom he wanted to start a new life. But instead of ending his marriage peacefully, Deobarran and a female relative subjected Omatie to verbal and emotional abuse, which ended with her demise around 7:40 p.m. on Friday. The tragedy occurred at their South Omatie Trace Barrackpore home and was witnessed by the couple's 8-year-old son. Deobarran, 41, died at hospital after being found sitting at the side of a track a quarter-mile from his house. He had ingested a weedicide believed to be gramazone. Their 13-year-old daughter was upstairs when the incident occurred. Police said Omatie had filed for divorce on the grounds of infidelity and had obtained custody of their 2 children. The judge ordered Deobarran to move out of the house and stay in the front house with his mother. Deobarran requested 4 days to move out, and this was granted by the judge. However, on Saturday, after receiving a document from the police, which was possibly a restraining order, Deobarran flew into a rage. He went to the apartment of his wife, situated at the back of his mother's house, and knocked on the door. His son opened the door, and Deobarran immediately attacked his wife as she sat by the computer, leaving her body on the ground. Deobarran then ran out, grabbed the toxic substance, which is believed to be gramazone, and ran down a track to the back where he consumed it. He died hours later at the San Fernando General Hospital. Omatie's father, Ramdial Kanchan, said he first learned of his son-in-law's affair 2 weeks ago when his daughter came to his home at Mohes Road, Debe, and requested permission to come back home. "I tell her to come back, but she and Amar were husband and wife. They had children, so they should try to mend things up," Kanchan recalled with tears in his eyes. "She told me she could not stay there. She said when she's sitting in the hammock, he would come out and knock the blade and tell her to get out of the house," Kanchan added. He said the couple had been together for 14 years and he did not suspect that they were unhappy. Before she died, Omatie told her family it was more painful because her husband's family had accepted the affair, and the outside woman even paid $10,000 for surgery for one of Deobarran's female relatives. The Deobarran family has since apologized for his actions, saying they never knew him to be violent. Families left in distress after child witnesses his mother's homicide at the hands of his father. Before she was erased by her husband, banking supervisor Omatie Ramdial-Deobarran sent a video to her family giving a peek at the abuse she suffered at the hands of Amar Deobarran and a female relative. In the video, which is almost 3 minutes long, Omatie reminds Deobarran how he threatened to remove her head. A woman threatens to kick Omatie in her mouth when she speaks about Deobarran's infidelity. Deobarran had been incensed that she had used up US dollars to hire a lawyer to file for divorce because he cheated in their marriage by fathering a child with another woman 3 years ago. Deobarran, 41, a teacher at Avocat Vedic School, began the affair about 4 years ago, but it was only last September that he confessed to the infidelity. Deobarran subjected Omatie to verbal and emotional abuse, which ended with her demise around 7:40 p.m. on Friday at their South Omatie Trace Barrackpore home. Omatie's homicide was witnessed by the couple's 8-year-old son. Deobarran died in hospital after he was found sitting at the side of a track a quarter-mile from his home. He drank a toxic substance believed to be gramazone. Their 13-year-old daughter was upstairs when the incident occurred. Omatie's father, Ramdial Kanchan, told Guardian Media that 2 weeks ago his daughter, who worked at Bankers Insurance in Chaguanas, came home and told him her husband was having an affair. "I tell her, girl, I can't say nothing. All you is husband and wife, try and mend up things." But she said the husband have a child with the woman, Kanchan said. Asked whether she spoke about Deobarran being abusive, Kanchan said, "She said when she's sitting in the hammock, he would pick up a cutlass and knock it right around the hammock." Omatie's brother, Jagdesh, said he was surprised when his sister asked them to move back home. "She told me she filed for divorce last Monday, and she gave us a heads up that she wants to come back here to stay," Jagdesh said. The judge said that Amar can stay in the front part of the house with his mother, and Oma and the children will stay in the back. Last Thursday, Amar came and picked up the child without her knowledge. The court says he's not supposed to do that. My sister called her lawyer, and Friday, Amar got a call from the Princestown court to come and pick up a paper. He still has visitation rights, but with a court-martial, maybe he got angry about that. Jagdesh said Omatie was inside the apartment with her son when Deobarran knocked and barged in. He told us his father started to attack his mother as she sat by the computer. He said he just see Mummy fall to the ground. He says Mummy has a big wound in her hand, big so, and Daddy just run out the back. The child was severely traumatized after witnessing the homicide and fell ill for nearly 3 hours. Deobarran grabbed a bottle of toxic substance believed to be gramazone and ran down a track to the back where he consumed it. He died at 1:25 a.m. at the San Fernando General Hospital. The couple had been together for 14 years, but no one outside the home suspected that they were unhappy. Neighbor Bajnath Ramnarin said, "I saw him a few days ago. The children run and hug him. I did not know he was having problems with his wife." Rita Ramnarin said Deobarran grew up with them and never appeared to be a violent person. Before she died, Omatie told her family her heartache was greater because her husband's family had accepted the affair, and the woman with whom he was having an affair even paid $10,000 for surgery for one of Deobarran's female relatives. The Deobarran family has since apologized for his actions, saying they never knew him to be violent. Deobarran's mother was too distraught to speak. 2 of the cousins said the family did not condone violence. Autopsies will be done on the bodies tomorrow. Separate funerals will be held. The couple's children are now staying at their grandfather's home. Retired businessman erased after visit to the bank. Police have no suspects. A retired San Fernando businessman who went to the bank to cash his pension check yesterday morning was discovered dead in his yard hours later. Kelvin Chan, a man in his 60s who lived at the corner of Leotard and Cipero Streets, was found with wounds to the head and face. The discovery of the body was made by Chan's friend, who went to check on him around 12:45 p.m. The friend told police he had spoken to Chan around 9 a.m. and he told him he was headed to the bank in San Fernando to cash his pension check. When the friend returned, he opened the front gate and walked into the yard where he saw a bedsheet with something beneath it. The man lifted the sheet and discovered Chan's body. There was blood on the head and face. The friend raised an alarm, and nearby residents, workers, and business owners converged on the scene. Officers of the Bureau of Homicide Region 3 San Fernando CID and Southern Division Task Force responded and cordoned off the area. Police said neither Chan's pension money nor his bank book or card was found. Chan occupied the upper floor of the two-story house, and it was locked when officers searched the premises. Police said an older brother of Chan occupied the lower floor of the building, where a business was operated years earlier. However, officers were uncertain if the brother was at home at the time of the incident. Police suspect that the assailant struck Chan in the head and he fell and died. They also believe he took a sheet from a clothesline on the premises and covered the body. Police said that robbery was the motive for the killing. President of the Greater San Fernando Area Chamber of Commerce, Kiran Singh, yesterday condemned the homicide, which he described as a law-abiding citizen going about his life peacefully, which was put to an abrupt end by savage criminals. In an interview with Express, Singh lamented that another homicide was recorded in the Southern Police Division and urged the TTPS to make San Fernando safe again. Another gruesome homicide has occurred in our beloved city of San Fernando. This man was a retired businessman within the sanctity of his home, and he lost his life today at the hands of savage criminals who have no respect for elders in the society, no respect for law, no respect for life. They took the life of an innocent man within his own boundaries and premises. He was not in a place where he should have been. He was not doing anything illegal. He is a retired man who was going about his life peacefully, and it came to a sudden end by a heinous act of one or maybe several criminals, said Singh. Singh added, "We plead with the TTPS to make our city of San Fernando safe again. We used to boast of San Fernando being a safe city, having relatively low crime rates, especially with respect to serious crimes. We unfortunately cannot make that statement anymore," he said. When we look to the recent homicide of an employee on High Street, San Fernando, the TTPS acted with swift action and apprehended the bandits within a few hours. We hope that same serious, determined action can be exercised once again to apprehend these criminals who have committed this act against this elderly, law-abiding citizen, said Singh. Detectives of the Homicide Bureau of Investigations Region 3 are continuing inquiries.